So today is probably a really hard video to film, and I have no means of editing this, so I'm just going to roll with it and hope it turns out okay. And you'll see by the title what this is about, but I think the reason why I can talk about this now is probably because I can manage my emotions and how things make me feel a lot better than I ever could before this point. So it's taken me 11 years to talk about any of this, and tonight I feel strong enough to do it, so we're going to do it. Before I continue, I have hair in my mouth. I just want to state that this could be triggering to anybody that has lost a baby, had a miscarriage, had a stillbirth, any trauma relating to baby loss. This video could trigger you, so therefore stop watching now if you feel that this could trigger you. Okay, so it's coming up to the anniversary of when I lost twin babies, and that will be on the 19th of April. Yeah, I'm feeling it today. I'm feeling it. I've sat here crying for like ages, and I don't want to cry again on this video, but I do want to talk about it because I'd have 10-year-old twins today had it been a successful pregnancy, but sadly it wasn't. And I think the hardest bit about it was I had a feeling I was pregnant, but I didn't really know, and I was too wrapped up in life to check, and I only found out that I was pregnant when it was too late. After my miscarriage, I traced back when I would have fallen pregnant, like my last period, and it turned out I was 11 weeks pregnant, so almost 3 months, and I lost them just 10, almost 11 weeks, and I lost them at work. Well, one at work and one at home, but yeah, I was in tremendous pain, had to keep going to the toilet, and yeah, stuff happened, and I went back down to work and got on with the rest of my job and walked home and met my friend, and I was that disassociated from my body and my feelings then that I knew what had happened, but I didn't process it. It was just like something, I can't really describe it. Like, I left work and I met my friend, and I literally said to her, I just gave birth at work. She was like, what? She was like really worried. I was just like, yeah, gave birth at work. Like, no emotion, no processing it, no feeling. It was just something that happened, and that was that. And now, today, I'm in such a different place. I am in touch with my emotions and my feelings, and I know how to regulate them. And when I hurt, I hurt, and when I cry, and that's okay. Like, it's okay to hurt, and it's okay to cry, and yeah. So it's just really weird. Like, the whole looking back at it and remembering it's painful on a lot of levels. And at the time that I went through this, I remember not talking to the person that I was with, and that the babies were with. We were not talking. We were arguing a lot, and it was painful because I remember it wasn't that he didn't believe me, but his friend had like brainwashed him into thinking it was a lie, or that it was my fault. And so I was very, very alone. I couldn't turn to him, and I pretty much just went through it on my own. I went through the whole thing on my own. I had to take the week off work, and I knew what had happened when it happened. It's an unmistakable thing, and I had to ring my mum to come to the doctors with me to be seen at the doctors. And anybody that knows me on a personal level will know that me and my mum did not get on. Me and my mum were not close. I would not ring my mum about stuff like that, but I did. So that's what point I was at in my life, to turn to my mum. I dragged my mum to doctors, and she walked with me. She walked home, and then she went home. And yeah, for me to turn to my mum in that situation, that speaks volumes. For anyone that knows me on a personal level, I would not have done that. Me and my mum weren't that close, so. But yeah, I can't fault her. She was supportive and she was there when it mattered, so thank you, Mum. My mum actually passed away, so I can't actually thank her in person, but I'm sure she can hear me from wherever she is. Yeah, and I think trauma, physical trauma, emotional trauma, any sort of trauma that you go through, your body, it remembers it. And when you are coming up to an anniversary of something traumatic like baby loss, it is physically painful. You relive it on a physical level, you relive it on an emotional level. It's horrible. It's horrible, and my body and my brain and my mind right now are just not happy. They're hurting a lot. Yeah, it's weird, like thinking what could have been, what would have been, what is, what was. It's a lot. I'd be a mum to 2 10-year-old children, children. Like, that's mental. I've got a 6-year-old and I've got a 2-year-old currently, and they're a handful and I love them to pieces. But to think I'd be a mum to 2 10-year-old children, like, would be a blessing. And it's painful that I'm not. It's painful that opportunity was taken from me, and it's something I live with every day. But it's something that, when it's coming up to anniversary, is a lot more painful than it would be ordinarily. It's painful all day long, every day. It's there somewhere, but you don't think about it as much until it's coming up to that time of year, you know. But yeah, I thought I'd get my story out there, because I'm not the only one that's been through this, and lots of people have been through this stuff. And recently I've been watching videos on YouTube of other very inspirational people coming forward about stuff that they've been through, and I think they're amazing. And I actually reached out in a previous video to somebody that I follow about anxiety and how I manage mine. So I think if I can help anybody else manage these emotions and be connected with feelings, and it is okay to be connected to feelings, then that's amazing. It's worth putting a story out there just to be able to help somebody else, and to be able to express feelings that I haven't expressed in a long time, you know. It's equally as important. This is coming up to 10 minutes long, so it may cut off automatically in about 15 seconds. So I'm going to leave it here, and I might do a follow-on video from this point, like, again. But stay safe and love yourself.